Hey guys, Dr. Sarah Wooten here, coming to you from Colorado. This is where I live. That's Buffalo Mountain. And a day or so ago, I came on and warned y'all about foxtails. These guys. It's windy. These guys, because they get caught in dogs. They get caught usually in between their toes. And some of you came back to me and was like, well, how the heck is something this big going to be a problem for my pet? I mean, that thing's huge. I'll notice that. And it's not when it's like this, right? When it's like this, I don't know, it blew away. When it's like this, you can notice that, right? But it's when they dry and they break off and they become this. Can you see this? Can you see this? This guy, it's tiny, right? It's like gone, but it was like the size of my little nail, and so that's what gets caught in between the toes. And what happens is that little barb will penetrate the skin, and then it will get under the skin, and then it'll migrate around under the skin. And I've seen it go in through in between the toes and show up on an elbow or something like that. I've also seen dogs inhale them and they'll get stuck in their lungs. I saw a dog one time that came in with terrible dental disease. We got the dog sedated. Turns out it had foxtails stuck under all of its teeth, and a lot of its teeth had rotted. The bone around the teeth had rotted because of the infection from the foxtails. And these foxtails will create they have bacteria on them, so they'll create a little local infection, and normally what happens is a little pus pocket will develop. Sometimes if you're lucky, the foxtail comes out. If you're not lucky, then your veterinarian has to go in there and find it. It'll get stuck in the ears, it'll get stuck up noses and eyes. Everywhere, guys, everywhere. I've seen these foxtails everywhere. So if you're out with your dog and you're in an area where there's grass, anything that kind of like looks like this, it's pointy, sometimes they're usually in clusters, you have to check your dog's paws after. And if they're excessively shaking, or they're pawing at their face or their nose, or they're sneezing, or maybe you're walking and then they suddenly stop and they start licking really aggressively at something on their toes, especially if you see a little reddened area or a bump, that's likely a foxtail. Now, if you're lucky and you live east of the Mississippi, the foxtails don't tend to be such a big deal. In fact, I was talking to a veterinary colleague of mine yesterday saying I was making these videos about foxtails. Foxtails. And she lives in Missouri, and she was like, I've never seen a fox. I've never treated a foxtail in any of my patients. And I said, that's wild, because I lived in California and I live in Colorado, and these suckers are everywhere. And every summer I would see at least one dog every week, maybe more. If I worked full time, I saw more that would come in and have a foxtail. And again, if I was lucky, I found it, and then I could show it to the owner, and I felt like a hero. But oftentimes, as much as finding them, oftentimes I didn't find them, and then the dog would have to come back and have me look again, or maybe it would migrate to someplace else and then pop out. These things are murderous. So if you are west of the Mississippi and your dog plays where there's like little wild grasses, weedy things that look like a foxtail, they're feathery on one end, they're pointed on the other, check their paws every time. Check their paws and take them in if you see them licking or a bump, or if they're sneezing or scratching at their ears or anything like that. Save yourself a lot of heartache, save yourself a lot of money. Especially if you have long-haired dogs, or if you have dogs with curly coats. And I'm looking at all of you doodles. I have my doodle, she would get them stuck when I take her out camping. She'd get them stuck in between her toes, and I knew to look. So now you know too. So share this video if it's been helpful. Let me know if there's anything you want me to cover in the comment section, and enjoy the day. Mwah. Love you guys.